one parent and a chick 2 times. But I will not talk about this data here. We did record some family tracks of one big family on Kolguyev for about 2 days. Unfortunately, they didn't make it back to the Netherlands, so I cannot show you any data of that. And because of this, let's say, lack of family data from that trip, I mean, we have a lot of other wonderful data, which I hope to analyze later. But so we went to put some more tracking effort to catch families and tag them in the wintering grounds in the Netherlands, where there's the Dutch Goose Catcher Association, which is a couple of old, very experienced people. They are volunteers, and they have in their farms they have a bunch of families of geese, which they are breeding themselves and training, and they stand on fields in the winter for the whole winter, where male geese are tied to the ground in the early morning, and the guys are standing in huts about 200, 300 meters from there with the young and the females of these males in some boxes, and when wild geese are flying over, they throw them out, and if the geese flying over are single families, it is rather likely that you can catch single families. So they get attracted by the decoy geese and think, oh, this is a safe place to land, and then there are some nets dug in close to the decoy geese, which is a nice way, I think, to also combine science and a very old tradition. So we were successful to catch 3 families of 4 members each, and you've seen this is how they've been observed in the field afterwards. One of the young has been shot, unfortunately, a few weeks back, but all the others, they're just migrating towards Russia now, and we're really excited to see what's happening there. But here I will talk about 3 kind of episodic data sets. So one is the auto migration of one couple of geese, so male and female. One is a family of geese with 5 chicks for 1 day on the breeding ground. And one is one of these families that we tagged in the winter for 6 weeks in the Netherlands. And what I've done so far, and I've also come to this workshop to learn more what can I do with these data, and in the beginning of the session I was really happy to see the methods that you used. So I basically just looked at speed, dynamic acceleration in terms of ODVA, distance between individuals, and also dynamical interaction, so the correlation of the speed of individuals at different time steps and of the directions of individuals at different time steps. Furthermore, I was interested, are the parents really leading the chicks, as you've seen in the movie at the beginning? And I was really struggling to find a way how to calculate that, because in all these studies on leadership, they're working on animals that are turning a lot, and these guys, they are not turning. So you have to find another measure. And what I've done up to now, just for a first glimpse at the data, is for each bout of positions, as you see here, I've calculated a mean position and also mean position for the next bout. So that is kind of the leading direction. And I've projected each position of each bird onto this line and just checked which bird is in front. So for the family of geese on Kolguyev, I have found, or you can see that the speed of the parents is lower than the speed of the chicks. So the chicks are kind of running around a bit erratically, while the parents are really knowing where they're going, and they very often just stand still and keep watch. If you look at amount of movement in terms of dynamical acceleration, you can see the same pattern. But what is also interesting is that the correlation of this amount of movement is 0.55, so intermediate for parents, but between the chicks it's rather high. So when one of the chicks is running and moving, all the others are doing that as well. The distance, so the parents are sticking closer together than the chicks are close to the parents, and also the chicks towards each other. So I think at this stage, during the breeding grounds, the parents have a lot to do to keep their chicks together, rather than them really following each other. The story is very different during migration. Unfortunately, here I have no idea about chicks yet, but if you look at this couple, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. So I was talking about the next slide. Just to add for this family on Kolguyev, I'm sorry, the leadership I looked at, it doesn't really look at anything as leading. So this is the rank of the birds. The red is the mom, blue is the father, and these are the chicks. And it seems that the mom is a bit behind always, but this is not yet very clear. And the dynamical interaction is very high between the parents. It's 0.85, and between the chicks and the parents, it's a little bit lower. But remember these numbers a bit to compare them now with the migration. So this couple of geese, we call them Jan and Jana. They are faster during migration than we've just seen. I mean, the geese before, they were just walking. But the speed is very similar. And they stay extremely close to each other, much closer than the chicks have stayed to their parents before on the breeding grounds. So for 35% of the time of migration, they stay within 2 meters of each other, which is, I think, very remarkable. So they really try not to lose each other. And there's only one time that they are further apart than 500 meters from each other during migration, only once. And the correlation of the movement is similar to the breeding ground. In terms of leadership, it seems that the female is a bit behind, but this is not